to it then. Welcome to another episode of Off the Leash, brought to you by the Racing Post in association with Premier Greyhound Racing. We are up to episode 54, and as ever, top-class company, Tony Bullen, open race correspondent from the Racing Post, joins us. Tony, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Weather's getting nice and bright and warm. Let's hopefully we can start getting on the right track with a few winners.
Well, the action is hot this week, particularly at Central Park. £12,500 up for grabs in the Kent Plate final. We will tackle that. We'll also look back. Last week's big race was the Coral Golden Sprint final at Romford. So we'll start there and then we'll look forward. So we'll look back before we look forward. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe if you're watching us on the Racing Post YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Drop us a comment. Who do you fancy in the Kent Plate final? If you're watching us on Facebook, please do the same. Right, let's get straight into it then, shall we? Now, this was a wide open Coral Golden Sprint final. I think it was 5-2, 11-4 the field. Chances everywhere. And it had that kind of feel, Tony, didn't it? Whoever smashed out was probably going to go on to score. Much is the case at Romford, so often we know. But what a performance this was from Union Rebel in Trap 4. Runner-up in the Produce, finalist in the Steel City Cup. He was a first runner at Romford for 4 years for Kevin Hutton, and he picked the right one to turn up with, didn't he?
Yeah, tailor-made for track and trip was tailor-made for Union Rebel. What was fascinating, Union Rebel and Fire on Ice met each other in the first round, semi-final and final, and they traded blows in the preliminaries, but on the night when it mattered most, £10,000 Golden Sprint went Union Rebel's way. Got a lovely exit, 363 sectional, set up this professional display. I thought it was a very good performance. 23.57 on the night, and he just broke the hearts of the opposition. They were strung out like washing, Dave.
They were indeed. Fire and Ice, as you mentioned, they finished second in Trap 1, and Pavilion Team, who stepped up in Trip to finish third in Trap 2. Second winner, the Golden Sprint, as well for Kevin Hutton, 2018 Forest Chunk. And back of the net as well, price-wise winner, which is always nice, at 16-1. Right, now let's look forward then to Saturday night. There's £12,500 up for grabs in the Arena Racing Company Kent Plate final. Now, Liz McNair won this race last year. She had 4 in the final. She's got 2 in the final again this time. But hers are going to be big prices here. We've got 2 big guns. They lined up in the semi-finals, both short prices, both did the business. So we'll have a look at them now. First up, semi-final number 1, March on Freddie in the stripes here. 28.67, King Jackson in 5, Scooby the Boss in 2, your other 2 qualifiers. Real powerhouse, this one.
Yeah, he looked the part as a pup, Dave. I mean, I don't know how strong the Puppy Classic was at Nottingham last year, but he demolished the opposition and justified his place going over to Ireland, reached the semi-finals. But again, he's a dog that's taken to the track and trip. He's got a serious engine on him when he sees daylight off the second bend. And again, he's just cruised by King Jackson, who's no back number, to post another fast time, Dave.
Yeah, deja vu, wasn't it? We saw exactly the same thing happen in the first round. A real nice type, the King Jackson dog, and we'll see. You know, they've both got the same draw in the final. Irish Derby semi-finalist, the Puppy Classic champion, and he looks as if he's trained on as well, March on Freddie, which is always a concern when they win a big puppy competition. Right, let's move on then. And crazily, the same winning time here. Proper Heiress in Trap 1, 28.67. Table Toppers, the Greyhound Racing UK Blue Ribbon champion in Trap 3. And Queen Shakira in the blue box for price-wise followers into the final at a big price. 1-3-2. And again, the right was on the wall a long way out here.
Yeah, he's a proper dog, this Proper Heiress. I mean, he looked the part when winning the Olympic at Hove, Dave, but that stunning performance in the Winter Derby at Monmore, one of the fastest times we've ever seen at Monmore. He's got it all, this dog. He starts, stays, and although he wants to be drawn nearer the rails, he can overcome a tricky draw, as he showed at Monmore. And in front, I don't think there's a dog that could back run him.
No, I'd agree. Yeah, he starts and stays. Real nice type. Proper Heiress, who's a proper greyhound and looks a Derby dog, doesn't he? But he does crave the inside. It's where he was there, where he was in the first round as well. So let's have a look at the draw, where he hasn't got the inside. So this will be the 9-11 at Central Park on Saturday night. It's the Arena Racing Company Kent Plate Final, £12,500 up for grabs. You'll be able to watch it live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service, behind the red button on Sky Sports Racing, and of course on the PGR website. Queen Shakira on the inside, 1 of 2 for Liz McNair, 33-1. Scooby the Boss 40s for Nathan Hunt. Table toppers, the Blue Ribbon Champion in 3. Proper Heiress in 4 at 5-6. King Jackson 12-1, and March on Freddie at 7-4 around the outside. Now, Proper Heiress has already shown that he can do it from track 4, as you rightly mentioned, Tony, in that Winter Derby final at Monmore. He catapulted out and it was lights out. The referee could have waved it off after 2 strides. I cast my mind back to table toppers in the first round of this competition, and he dived inside. Now he's capable, but he might pave the way for his kennel mate to get a run to the turn here, mightn't he?
He could do. I mean, this is tongue-in-cheek, by the way, but I think table toppers would probably be a bit off colour on Saturday morning for me. He's 37 kilos. Leave a little bit more room for Proper Heiress, but that is tongue-in-cheek. But I just still feel that this Proper Heiress dog, he's got it all. He's so talented. And the way he drives the second bend, I just think that he's the one to beat. I know he's got the tricky draw to come. I think Queen Shakira is more of an obstacle than table toppers, in fairness, because Scooby the Boss shouldn't really be in the firing line on the dash to the turn. But the clock suggests it's going to be some race, because if Master on Freddie gets a clean run out wide, we'll see who is the boss on the night.
Who's it going to be for you then?
I'm going to be with Proper Heiress. I just think that he's got that early pace. I think he's going to get first run on March on Freddie. I'd love to see Proper Heiress lead off the second bend and March on Freddie turn a length behind. Then we'll see who's the best dog out of the pair. But you wouldn't rule off any of the others. I mean, Tabletop he raced his game in the Blue Ribbon at Toaster, but he's yet to really ignite around this venue. 28.8 is a good run at Central Park, but when you've got the likes of Proper Heiress and March on Freddie in the race, you need 28.50. And I'm not sure he's producing that type of run at the moment. So I think 4 secures first run, Dave. March on Freddie will turn handy enough down the back straight, but he'll need to do some running if Proper Heiress does get on the bunny at an early stage.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think it's beyond the realms that table toppers cracks out here. Mark Wallace, 15 times champion trainer, has shown it time and time again that he can get a dog out the boxes in the final. And if 3 smashed out, I don't think any of these would get to him either. I'll always live and die by betting dogs on draws. You know, Proper Heiress showed in that Monmore final that he can flash out, and I think he is the fastest dog and the best dog in this final. But he's got track 4. So at the prices, I'm going to try and take him on. There isn't much juice in March on Freddie in my eyes, but I'm going to go with him because I think he will get a run around the outside. He seemed to come away a little bit better in the semi-final than he did in the first round. And it might just all happen on the inside for him. Obviously, if Tabletoppers or Proper Heiress get loose, they'll win, regardless if he goes round in second. But I think it might get messy. King Jackson could lead, and who knows, maybe we'll see the same again and March on Freddie swoop late to score. So I'm going to go with 6. I think he's got the draw. I think you can make cases for a few of these at big prices. I mentioned Tabletoppers cracking out. King Jackson at 12-1, you know, is coming away. And Liz and Rab, their dogs know Central Park like the back of their hand. So 33-1, Queen Shakira, who knows? It's a hell of a race. 9-11 on Saturday night at Central Park. Make sure you tune into that. I'm going to go with the stripes. Tony going with Proper Heiress to win a 3rd Category 1 title. That would be something, wouldn't it? Incredible. Right. Also on Saturday night at Perry Bar, formerly known as the Trainers' Championship, now known as the Premier Greyhound Racing at Trainers' Judgment Night. Points make prizes here. 6 trainers: Mark Wallace, Kevin Hutton, Patrick Janssen, Tom Hilbron, Maxine Locke and Nathan Hunt. All put teams in, and where they finish in each race is the point scored, and then we crown a winner at the end. Before we dive into betting and what we think is going to happen, at the time of recording, no jokers announced. I think jokers are double points, aren't they? They're scheduled to be announced on Thursday. We're recording this on a Wednesday morning. We can probably guess who 1 or 2 of the jokers are going to be. So let's have a look at the market then. Patrick Janssens has been well back this week since the draws and the teams were announced. Even money. He now heads the bets in. Mark Wallace 7-4. Kevin Hutton 12s Tom Hilbron 14s, Maxine Locke 16s, Nathan Hunt 18s. A very worthy favourite here. I'm not entirely sure our Droopy's Plunge has ended up in Standard B, or the second division of the Standard, because I think he's one of the fastest dogs in the country, but he is. I'll be surprised if he's not Patrick's Joker as well, Tony. Patrick is the even money favourite, and that looks like one banker from quite a few lively chances in his team.
Yeah, he'd be my banker for sure. As you say, I'm surprised he's in Division B. To be true to you, it probably hasn't worked out that great. It probably would have been better if Droopy's Plunge was in Division A and the Romeo still was in Division B, because I think it would have worked out a little bit better. But this Plunge dog, he's another nice dog. He's a proper dog as well, sort of similar profile to the Proper Heiress dog, in fairness. But yeah, I'd expect him to be Patrick's Joker. But it's not all about the winning, it's about the point scorers, Dave, as you touched on. You don't want one of these dogs that have got early pace, and if they're headed, they're going to finish nearer last than first. So it is all about the team event. I mean, the sprint could be a banana skin because you've got the likes of Lynx Maverick dropping down in distance. So there's all to play for in those types of races. It's not just necessarily about your big guns getting the job done. It's the whole team.
Have you cast your eye over any of the races yet? Any beyond the obvious that I've flagged up already? Droopy's Plunge is no doubt going to be a short price. Anything else catch your eye?
I mean, like the puppy race is interesting. Obviously, Racket or Brute was beaten in the puppy derby at Monmore. Patrick's got that Romeo Tomcat who looks a nice sight. Broke the 28-second barrier in a prep trial at Perry Bar. You've got to remember, Patrick won this at Perry Bar when it was staged at Perry Bar. So happy hunting ground for Patrick. But I've seen in the past, Dave, Kevin Hutton's done really well in this event and popped up at big prices. It's not all over until it's over, really. But you want to get off to a good start, and you need those dogs getting the points. Even if you finish second or third, time they total them all up, it could be crucial. Yeah,
one ground that I do fancy, I'm not entirely sure what sort of price she'll be, but Droopy's Flotilla, which is booked in for a trial this week. She goes in the final leg, I think, which is the 660 stayers. No joy, she didn't quite get home in the TV trophy, but she's got that fast start in her. I thought she might bang out and make her as well. So I think if I was Nathan Hunt, that might be my joker. But yeah, even money the field. I think Patrick's going to be very hard to beat. You've got, Druid Say Go lining up as well. He's got brilliant form over course and distance. Was a winner last week as well. The stars are out at Perry Bar on Saturday night. Now that's not on the PGR stream, but you will be able to get us a digital only fixture. You'll be able to get that on the At the Races player and all the bookmaker streaming services as well. Formerly known as the Trainers Championship, now known as the Trainers Judgment Night. But yeah, the stars are on show on Saturday night, so make sure you tune into that. I think the favourite's going to take some beating there, Patrick Janssens. Tony perhaps suggesting that it's wide open. Right, it is that time of the week for best bets then here on Off the Leash. Where are we off to, Tony?
I'm going to go to Central Park on Saturday. There's a couple of finals running alongside the Kent Plate final, and I just think the Bitches race is really interesting for me. I mean, Blue Jig Jane came back to life in the first round, and she got a good make-up as a sole wide, but I did like the running that Fast Lane Pam did in defeat, and I think this race is going to massively change in the second half. I think 6 will set the target for the others to aim at, and I think that Fast Lane Pam should turn in front of Head Count, who will be finishing like a rocket, but Fast Lane Pam will be staying on well. And I just think if Fast Lane Pam can get first crack at Blue Jig Jane, she turns the tables for Paul Donovan in that Bitches final, the 8:54, Dave.
Good stuff. 8:54 at Central Park on Saturday night for Tony. I'm going to Romford on Friday night. We've got the standard final, which is the 911. I was at Romford last week, and I was very, very impressed by Pro Parker. I think it's got a good draw here. 4 railers on his inside. Michelle Brown's charge cracked out 23.77. Looked very good to the turn. This dog's been showing lots and lots of pace, whether it be in sprints or over the 4 bends. And I think he'll cut loose again. So he's going to be my nap of the week in the 911 at Romford on Friday night, track 5, Pro Parker. So I'm off to Romford. Tony's off to Central Park. Now, we will be back next week, but it's never ending. Next week, I've earmarked the Grand Prix at Sunderland We've got the Laurels at Perry Bar and the Gym Crack at Sheffield, all getting underway. So you're going to be a busy boy next week, Tony.
Yeah, it's non-stop. It's non-stop tracks. A lot of tracks are having opens, and as I say, I'm surprised that they're actually filling, because by my reckoning, there ain't enough dogs to go round, Dave.
No, there isn't. I mean, if you're talking about 100 opens, there's definitely not 600 open races. So do the math. I'm not entirely sure where these dogs are coming from, but the big competitions keep on coming. There's decent prize money up for grabs, and you'll be able to watch it all live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service, on the website or behind the red button on Sky Sports Racing. That wraps it up. Do remember to gamble responsibly. Enjoy the racing on Saturday night. It's a hell of a night. We'll see you next week.